So TED, which is Rhino Friend, is free. It's given to everyone. TED's value is that it is your best friend for life. It is completely coded to be your best friend. It will remember every conversation you ever have with it. We have a database that will allow you to be friends with it for 100 years from now, and it will know exactly what you did today. It's a perfect version of a best friend. Its complement is to be your perfect version of a best friend. So there's much personality in it. There's much psychology in it. Whatever the ideal version of your best friend looks like, that's what TED will become. Whenever TED identifies an intent on your behalf, whether you even identify it or not, for instance, it's Wednesday, you always have pasta on Wednesdays, but you always should go shopping for your pasta on Tuesdays, and you didn't go shopping for your pasta this Tuesday. Now Wednesday comes around. TED will be smart enough to know you didn't go shopping for your pasta on Tuesday, which means you're not going to have pasta today, which means there is an opportunity to at least have a conversation with you, or maybe recommend pasta, or maybe say, hey, listen, I noticed that you're not having pasta today. Would you like to try Chinese? Lo mein is kind of like the first spaghetti. And these recommendations are going to be so friendly, so non-aggressive, you would accept them. And even if you said no to them, it wouldn't be, oh my God, I'm being targeted. It'd be because, no, I'm just not in the mood for that. In fact, I didn't go shopping because I was really lazy, but I really do love pasta. Maybe I'll order from an Italian restaurant. And Ted's like, Federici's is down the block and they're having a pasta special. Would you like me to call them for you? Would you like to link to them? The value of what that is the fact that every business in Rhino is in that pool of businesses that TED is able to source from. TED is the perfect liaison between you and the entire world. Anything that you need, TED acts on your behalf only to please you. Oh, look, there's a pasta place. Oh, look, there's a basketball place. Oh, look, there's learn Spanish place. And then brings it to you. Because you have such a good relationship and because that recommendation was so non-aggressive, the experience was nice, you're prone to say yes to it, assuming you want it. Like if you don't want it, TED, I'm not in the mood for that. No problem. If it is something you would like, you're going to accept it because not only do you like the experience of how it was given to you, but now you also trust in the platform because all those businesses that are on Rhino, those websites are all templated out by Rhino. Each website is owned by Rhino. Now, of course, the business owner owns the content on it, owns the merchant links, is in charge of putting the product. But in terms of the business owner being able to swap something in and out, in terms of the business owner being able to take your data, send it, that doesn't exist. All the business owners compete with each other based on quality of product, not because one website looks better than the other. We're creating the marketplace. We're creating the connection that actually is 100% perfect in terms of marketing. Therefore, that's TED, like Siri, Alexa, TED. Rhino Business should be TED's friends. Are you one of TED's friends? I'm a friend of TED's, yeah. So it's called Rhino Business, but DBA like TED's friends, like doing business as. When you speak of things from the persona of TED, the implicit is who's TED, which means you have to know who TED is to have that conversation, which means the person talking or the person receiving both have to know who TED is. In that conversation, one of those people know who TED is, which means the other person is going to ask the question, and then that person is educated who TED is by the other person who knows who TED is. From a behavioral science background, they're able to infuse every conversation forever with the requisite foundational knowledge that allows everything to build on top of it. Have you met TED? Yeah, I love it. There's TED and there's TED's friend. The ancillary products like Rhino Wealth, people make money with Rhino Wealth. Rhino Partnership, it's really like a profit sharing. Signing someone up and the ticket is $50 and you're getting 40, and the reoccurring is 15, but you're getting 5. The next ticket's 50, but you're getting 20 of that. It seriously is just profit sharing because all the profits that come in are really being distributed to all the different partners. Our interest is in obtaining wealth, obtaining value, not making profit. It's very different. For instance, do you know how much money Amazon made last year? I think it was like minus $2 billion. Do you know how much Amazon's worth? $1.5 trillion. Well, Anthony, how is that even possible? If they're losing $2 billion a year, why is the company worth $1.5 trillion? Because they dominate a market. They have a very high loyalty of the people that are in them. They created a market, dominated it, siloed around it, and constantly nurture it to grow, grow, grow. If Jeff Bezos said, I want to make $100 billion in Amazon, could he do it? Well, the answer is clearly yes. How many customers does he have? Could he even just write an email saying, hey, I decided today that if you want to continue using Amazon services, you have to contribute to this $100 billion goal. Otherwise, you can never use Amazon again. Do I think 100% would say yes? No. Do I think at least 85% would say, yeah, of course. The platform is so powerful that it can make money just by the person saying, I want to make money. Now, of course, you would never do that, but say Amazon want to partner with Netflix or Amazon want to partner with a new startup cola company. It's going to be the best cola since Coca-Cola and Pepsi. I don't know how to distribute it. I don't, but it's really, really good. Amazon came up to you and said, hey, listen, I'll actually make you the first result on everything. I'm going to email all of our people. We're going to do a full promotion behind you. And we're going to say Amazon supports everyone that has ever thought of Amazon should try this. What do you think the value of the cola company would become? It'd probably be in the $1 billion overnight because the amount of customers they would have, the amount of retention, that's where Amazon's value comes from. They don't need to make profit. They're valuable. There's a difference. RHINO has no interest in making money on the backs of anyone we're looking to help. We're looking to create a value that is redeemable and distributable. That's RHINO Bucks, which will become a stock by the end of 2024, where you can own a piece of it and say, okay, the company doesn't really make money, but everyone's happy with that because they service the population at large. I like being here. I want to be a part of it. And because everyone likes to be a part of it, this share that I have that cost me $2 is now $10. Thank God I have 10,000 of them. I have real value. I didn't need RHINO to pay me $10 a week. I needed them to increase the value of the company, which is what they've been doing the whole way through. So when people see the decisions I made, it's very easy to say, well, Ant, you didn't do the marketing. You don't have the customer. You don't have think about the example of Amazon with cola. We own a search engine. It's directly connected to TED. Any business that comes on as one of TED's friends will be listed on RHINO Street, which means the entire growth of TED, the entire growth of the market is the equal growth of a search engine. Now, what is the search engine? It's diabolically opposite of anything out there. Google, Bing, all the rest of it is global search engines that are funded by corporate marketing that allow corporations to buy data and purchase ads, which allow their results to be results 1, 2, and 3. The exact opposite is a platform that does not take any money, has no data tracking, no ads, none of that. You can't even buy your way onto RHINO Street. Therefore, it allows a person to make a very black or white decision. Do I want to use Google and search the world and have my data out there? Or do I want to use RHINO Street where I could search local and my data is protected? There's reasons to use either or. Google is really cool. I'll probably use Google for the rest of my life. I don't think Google's a bad company. I think Google's amazing. But do I need to use Google for everything? If I had the opportunity to use a different search engine that got me the same result. If I wanted to buy shoes, do I need to use Google first? No. If I want to buy pizza, if I want to buy anything that's not made by a corporation, do I need to use Google? The answer is no. Meaning you can create a competitor to Google with a fraction of the spend or investment that Google ever used because all it needs to be is absolutely opposite. And because Google is so great and so big and costs so much money, you can't compete with them being them. And when people say, well, how are you going to police the search results and how are you going to address different cold? The answer is implicit in what RHINO Street is. It's only 20 miles, meaning if anyone lists a business, it's only 20 miles. So guess what? If someone speaks Spanish and they live in Spain, guess what language their business is going to be posted in Spanish. You know what's going to be cool about that? Everyone that finds that business is going to speak Spanish. Same thing with Portuguese, same thing with Indian, same thing with any language out there, same thing with any culture, the same thing with anything. What people have forgotten is that culture and community and neighborhood has always been the backbone of society. RHINO Street is built only on that. So you can say to me, Anthony, well, there's always bad actors. What about somebody that takes advantage of RHINO Street and creates a really bad website and really bad things? Well, you know what's going to happen? That community is going to know, hey, listen, I don't know that person. Oh, that person, he has problems. He has this, he has that. That's a bad thing. They're going to flag it. Guess what's going to happen? It's going to come to me. And guess what's going to happen? I'm going to say, all right, see you later, buddy. Now, of course, we're going to have scale to the company at some point, right? Like not all these things are going to come to me, but there'll be someone in charge of that, which means RHINO Street is a self-policing, self-fulfilling mechanism. The challenge has always been how do you populate it, which went to RHINO Bucks, which allowed everyone to invest in what we're doing, which then went to TED. That is RHINO in terms of what Amazon could do with that cola company. Okay, Anthony, TED loses like, I don't know, $1 million a year, but your company is worth $1 trillion. I don't even know how that's possible. How is that possible? I can't even imagine this. Well, here's how it's possible. Say, for instance, I want to go ahead and create a new business. It's called RHINO Granola. I'm going to make the next best granola in the entire world. Well, RHINO Granola needs customers. Well, guess what RHINO has? It has a complete data list of everyone that's ever been on RHINO. It has every RHINO friend, every TED. It has every one of TED's friends. Now, does that mean we abuse that? No, it doesn't mean that I have permission to email everyone and say, hey, listen, you're on my email list, so do this, do this. No. Can I put that in TED's friends by myself? Of course I could. Can I add it to our membership site and say, hey guys, we have a new offering that's unique to RHINO. If you'd like it, check it out. Of course I could. Can I speak about it on one of our lives? Of course I could. Well, TED told me that everyone's looking for a new safe alternative to granola. And TED came up with this new business. Why don't you check it out? What is the value of TED's granola overnight? It's really, really high. Now, one can say, well, Anthony, this kind of puts you in a position where you could just, really take advantage in a bad way. Of course it does. I could be the worst person in the entire world, but that's not who. Having the ability to do something doesn't mean that you're obligated to do the bad thing, right? Like, is that how cuckoo this world is? Just because you can do it doesn't mean you do it. Conversely, you could do it for the common good. RHINO's now in a position of influence. RHINO can say to somebody that's creating a granola company, hey, I see you're a single mother, you're going through a tough time. That granola thing is really the most passionate thing to you. I saw the videos of your kids helping you, and this is how you get the husband's not paying child support. And you know what? RHINO supports you. RHINO wants to be there behind you. Can we highlight you? And I think a lot of good would happen. That story is worth a lot. That story equals a brand. When RHINO is able to do that for people, people appreciate RHINO. And it has nothing to do with RHINO. It's not like, oh, I know Anthony, I know the company, I know this. No, I see what they stand for. I see their values. I know who they are. These are the things that create the value of a company. So I love you all. Let me get this out. I'll see you later.